Well, welcome everybody to episode number 4 of Nutrition Club Life. And this is where we talk about how to build, grow, and scale your nutrition club. And I'm very excited for this episode. This episode is going to be for anybody that's watching that's maybe thinking about opening a nutrition club. You want to learn a little bit more, or maybe you're just an entrepreneur looking for a better opportunity. Or maybe you already have a nutrition club and you're looking for some inspiration and training. This episode's going to be for you. And I'm very, very excited about this special guest. We've been friends for a long time, but she is one of my wife's oldest and dearest friends. And so it's so amazing and exciting for us to see the success that she's had. And she is just half of the team. Her husband Heath is an amazing leader too. We'll have him on an episode here in the near future. But I'm so excited to introduce to all of you and welcome Wendy Taylor to the podcast. Wendy, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Trey, for the sweet introduction. And thank you for having me. I'm excited to share with everyone.
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey. I talk about it all the time. Like when Mamie and I first started dating, she always talked about this friend Wendy. And then I remember, and she'd probably been telling you, we were in the gym. I remember the first time we met, we were in the gym working out. I think you came and you're like, "Are you Trey?" And I'm like, "Are you Wendy?" I felt like I already knew you from everything Mamie said. And so to see that we've gone from there to having this moment on a podcast is actually really, really cool.
Super cool. Yeah. Mamie used to tell me that she was actually scared of me, in high school. That's one of her favorite stories, is that I played sports and she didn't. So she knew who I was, but we were not friends at that time. And she was like, I was scared of Wendy. Like, I was intimidated by Wendy, which I think is hysterical, right? Because now y'all are like #1 in the world, right? And just such inspirations in my life. And to think that at some point she was like, "Oh, I was so intimidated by her," is funny.
Well, and just what she always told me, how amazing of an athlete you were. And look, and now you and Heath, maybe we're #1 in the world, but y'all are top 10 royalty earners in North America. And so it's so awesome to see what's happened there. So let's get started here. Tell everybody, let's talk your background. Like, what were you doing before nutrition clubs?
So before nutrition clubs, Heath and I were both in medical sales. So he sold dental implants and I sold a disposable insulin device. So we had a great life. We loved our jobs. We weren't necessarily looking for anything else. And that's it. I mean, I don't know. We were just happy and content, right?
Yeah,
With two good jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely different than most people that come into this. You had a great income, and so what kind of led you to learning about nutrition clubs and making that decision?
Well, I mean, you mentioned it in the first few minutes. Obviously, I've known y'all for over 30 years, for forever, but Heath and I love to work out. Like you said, I met you in a gym. So we love to work out. We would come to Skinny's and get post-workout shakes. So we were like obsessed with the post-workout rebuilds. And so we were doing this was like 2016, 2017 for a while. And then all of a sudden, there was this boom in the nutrition club growth. And our neighbor, who is also one of my best friends, Lori Simon, she opened a club. So now not only did I have y'all, right, two people I've known for 30 years in this business doing well and growing, but now I had another really good friend that opened a club who was having success. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. We love the products, we're customers, and maybe there's something here. Maybe we can do something. We weren't really sure, but we thought we could do something with this business model.
So did you start off, because you both had great jobs, so did you go all in, or did you start off part-time to begin with?
Just part-time. I mean, we never had any intention. It never crossed our mind that we would be full-time Herbalife. So we opened a nutrition club in Starkville, Mississippi, which is my hometown. We both graduated from Mississippi State, so the whole point was to pay for a condo. We were going to use this money from our nutrition club to pay for a condo in Starkville, Mississippi. And that was our why at that point, right? We had full-time jobs, we were happy, we were content, like I've already mentioned. So this was our plan. We love the products. We're going to open it in a town that we love, and we're going to pay for a condo so we can go to all the Mississippi State sports.
And well, what about now? So now, for everybody listening, now you're full time. What happened?
So listen, you always hear this. Like I've heard this for many years. You're like one decision away from a totally different life. That statement. And this club, Starkville Nutrition, was that one decision. It completely changed our lives. We had no idea what was ahead of us. We couldn't have planned it, right? It just all of a sudden our friends and our family wanted to open nutrition clubs. It became this monster growth very quickly. And we were still trying to work our full-time jobs. And we had family helping us in the clubs, but it just got to be too much. And during COVID, we were working both of our clubs because we were essential business. And our real jobs, our full-time jobs, we were just sitting at home all day doing Zoom calls. And I just looked at Heath and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. It was 2020. We opened our first club in 2018, at the end of 2018. And I was like, I'm done. I'm going all in. And of course, he thought I was crazy. He was like, you're getting paid to do nothing but sit around. Like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm done. We got to go all in. Our team needs us. And we can do so much more. We can do so much more if we're focused on this business. So in 2020, I quit my job. I'd been in the industry for over 20 years and went all in. And a few years later, Heath did as well, I think in 2023. So we've both been all in now for a good over 3 years.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
there had to be some fear there. I mean, I know you were saying I'm going all in, but like you said, you'd been in that industry for 20 years. Obviously, Heath had a little fear because he stayed with his job for a couple of years. But was there anything in the back of your mind, any fear, or were you just like, I know this is my.
In the beginning, I don't think I was that fearful because he kept his full-time job, right? So we kind of had that plan B going on. And I knew that I could go back to pharmaceutical if I needed to because I had long-term success in the industry. But deep down, I just knew that we were meant for something more. And I did. I was like, we love health and wellness. We both were high school athletes. He was a college trainer. I was a coach's daughter. Like it was in our blood, so to speak, to be in this industry. We just had no idea the type of success and how it was going to change our life. We had no idea. But when I went all in, when I'm going all in, I'm thinking we're going to win. Like I do things to win. You're going to probably hear how that I've kind of changed through this business a little bit, but I go into things thinking I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to win. So I didn't have that much fear.
Yeah, I like to ask that question. Who were you before and who are you now? So you've always had that drive, but do you think you've changed over the years as you've been in this business?
I do. I've actually changed a lot. And this is something that I never planned again, or I never saw coming, so to speak. But when we first started in this business, we were just so focused on the number, right? The next level in the marketing plan, like what's the number, and hitting the number, because that's all we've ever known. In sports or in pharmaceutical, you have a goal, you got to hit it. When you hit it, they raise the goal. So that was our mentality, which is okay because we're very good at working hard and leading by example in that area. Like I'm very proud of us for that. But to go where we want to go and like with the vision that we have and the big dreams, we just had to be different. We had to become different. I had to become a different leader. I had to recognize that like I have to really work on myself in a lot of areas to help other people because my way isn't the only way. And not everybody's like me. And that was a really hard thing to adapt to or adjust to in this business because I was so used to the competitiveness of, medical sales. And here it's more about building people, right? Leading others and helping others be successful. So that was a big adjustment for us.
That's cool. So speaking of building people, what kind of person or what skills, what do you think people need to be successful in this business?
Um, well, I mean, this is just kind of what I say all the time to all the people I work with is you have to show up. You have to be consistent even when you don't feel like it, which consistency is like an easy word, but it's the hardest word ever because it's hard to be consistent because there are many days you don't feel like showing up, but you have to show up when you don't feel like it. You have to be coachable. I've been coached since I was born, right? I mean, I've had a great leader in my life, and I'm very, very thankful to be a coach's daughter who actually coached me, right? Which brought humility into my life, and I thought built a lot of character in me a long time ago. But that was just the beginning, right? That was just the beginning. So consistency, coachability, and then you just have to follow the plan. I don't know, that's not really a characteristic, but it's like it's all laid out for you in this business. We have all these mentors who have paved the way. And I just tell everyone, just like follow the plan, duplicate what's already worked. And you're going to have the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
So, what do you feel like has changed the most in your lives now? Like you and Heath both going from these high stress, I would think, jobs that you had to where you are now. Like, what's the biggest change in your lifestyle?
In our lifestyle, I would say definitely time freedom. I mean, that's always going to be a big one, I think, for most people. Just, I don't have somebody saying, oh, you can have this day off or you can't have this day off, right? That was my old world. I had to request a day off, which you don't always get the day off. So the time freedom, and then just, gosh, Trey, the no ceiling, the no cap, right? So all of your hard work and all the days you show up when you don't want to and all the things, you get paid for it, right? You get rewarded by this company. Herbalife is a very generous company. And so that excites us still to this day. Like we can just keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. And they're not going to say like, no, you have to stop right here. Or no, I'm not going to, reward you anymore because you've hit this level. So we love that. And then, but most importantly, I'm really proud of the people we're becoming because there's just been such a change in us as people. Herbalife is the personal development company. I mean, I have the pleasure of knowing you for 30 years. You're one of the biggest personal development mentors ever. I mean, what an honor to be able to be on your team and be your friend. But personal development and becoming just a better me, more confident, a better leader. I'm really most proud about that. And seeing other people become leaders and seeing other people be successful in this business, there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, I agree. That is one of the best things. So I imagine, you had Mamie and I, and you had Lori as your friends that were obviously cheering you on with making this decision. But I would imagine you had some friends that are like, "Have you lost your mind, quitting your job in your industry you've been with for 20 years and going and opening a nutrition club, making shakes?" Like I imagine some people were like, "You've lost your mind." So did you experience that, and what are those people saying now?
Well, one of them specifically is my first line. And one of my very best friends, Heather Hudson, she in the beginning was just like, she helped me find the space because she was in property management then. I'm like, I'm looking for a space. She's like, what are you doing? Just not, she found me a space, right? And we're still there 8 years later, just blowing and going. But very like, what are you doing? Not like you're crazy, but just kind of like, whatever. And then my dad, oh my goodness, he was just more than my mom. He was more like, what are we doing here? You got a great job, you got great income, a ton of success. Like, he did not understand. He's like, you're going to be selling what? Milkshakes? He still calls them milkshakes. I'm like, oh my God. No, Dad. They're like protein shakes, meal replacement shakes. Like, we're in the, health and wellness industry, but he'll still call it a milkshake. And, now my dad, of course, he can't be more proud of me. He tells me once a week at least that he's so proud of me. And he was always my biggest fan and my biggest mentor growing up. So that brings me a lot of joy that he says that. And then Heather, she's on her way to press team. I mean, who knew?
Yeah.
So yeah, we made everybody, we kind of shushed the haters, I guess.
That's awesome. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about strategy. You said, your nutrition club now, your original one, you've had open for 8 years now. And it's one of the top producing out of all of our nutrition clubs and has been for years and years and years. So, what would you say are the top three things that have helped you grow your personal nutrition club?
Um, okay, so every time I talk to a team or anybody, I always start with the fundamentals. Imagine that, right? But Heath and I, before this big leadership or personal development, in the beginning, we were just duplicating literally, Trey, what y'all had done before, which I think is so important in this is just to duplicate what's been successful. So not trying to reinvent the wheel, not doing anything crazy. Of course, we had full-time jobs as well. So I would start by saying, like, just follow the path that's already been laid before you with your nutrition club. So consistent drinks. You have to have a club owner or distributor in there that's just like you, one or the other. You've got to have somebody in there that cares, who is going to treat your customers and your community just like you would if you're, either you're there or someone just as close to you as possible. So consistency is a word that's going to be used all through this call, because without consistency, it's not going to work. It's got to be consistent hours. It's got to be consistent drinks. It's got to be consistent customer service. It has to be a consistent, in my opinion, vibe. I love a good vibe. So our music's fun. It smells good. It's clean. It's bright colors. So it all really comes down to, in my opinion, consistency and community. We have done, and we still do, and teach our team a really good job with the community. We're always doing something, whether it's sampling at gyms or at 5Ks, whether it's raising money for a specific organization. We're just always really involved in the community aspect. I say one community event a week. Like, that's kind of our thing. One a week, not one a month, not one every 3 months, one a week. And you'll see the numbers. I mean, I got proof in the numbers, a lot of them.
I see them. I can vouch for 'em. I love seeing them.
Yeah, so consistency, community, and then it's back to the coachability. I mean, which is really just duplicating what's already been successful before us.
So what would you say? Those are some great tips. So what was, like, if there's a new owner on here and they're like, hey, give me what should be the first thing I focus on as a new owner?
Gosh, well, please listen to your upline, okay? Please listen to someone who's done it before you and trust them. And I would also say get to trainings, get around people who will inspire you and hear all the stories. Like, you have to be plugged in. Let me say that again. You have to be plugged in to the system. That means getting on Zoom calls with your team. That means attending trainings, leadership development trainings. You see people on stage that literally their stories could change your life, just change the way you think or change the way you do things. So staying plugged in to everything. We have a website, obviously a team website and a team Facebook page, all of these things combined. You just have to stay involved, stay on top of it. And if you do all of that, and then of course stay consistent and coachable, then again, you can do whatever you want in this business.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as you were saying that. You know, the first two episodes we had, I had Shanda on, and then I had Katie and Adam, which were two that joined before we had the system built, and we went through a lot of struggles and things to get to the system. Now, the last two episodes been you and Dixie, which what y'all have in common is both of you came in after we had the system set up. And both of you were very successful before joining this business, which someone could have the tendency, being like you and Dixie, that were successful in other businesses, could have came in and said, hey, I've got a better way to do it. I'm going to reinvent the wheel. Yet both of you have said the same things, that following the system that's already there is so important. That was very, very interesting to me, because both of you, both of you could have came in easily and said, look, we've got better ideas, but you didn't.
Right. Well, I'm sure at some point I probably did think I had a better idea or two, but I learned quickly, just fall in line and follow the system. Why wouldn't we though? Why wouldn't anybody that joined this business? Obviously, our organization, if people don't know, has been number one the last 2 years, and so what we're doing works. We have a lot of success and a lot of successful people within this team. So why wouldn't you just follow the groundwork that's been laid before you? It makes sense.
Yeah. All right, personally, I know we talk a lot about personal development and share books with each other and things. And so I know, being an athlete like I was, I'm all about habits. I know you're about habits. So what are some daily habits that you have that you think have made a difference in your business?
Well, in the personal development world, I'm looking around as we're talking, right? So just right now, the pivot years to my left, right? So I read this daily because it's short and sweet. Leadership 101 is to my right, which is an accountability group that I'm part of. And then The Power of One More. I just ordered this book. But I'm surrounded by it, right? So literally I make it very easy talking about habits. If it's right in front of me and it's right here at my desk, I do it daily. So, I just finished Atomic Habits, which talks about doing little things day to day, and then it compounds over time.
I have a book, right? I'm surrounded by books also. So, yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're everywhere, right? So, but this has made a huge impact in my life. And I hope in other people's lives as well, because I'm really so focused on helping my team like never before, and staying away from, or not staying away. Listen, you can't take the win or the competitive nature. You're not going to take that away from me. It's in there. But I'm so much more focused on my team, and I work on it every day, because you can't grow your team farther than you grow yourself. So I have to keep growing, keep evolving, keep getting better so that I can help them. That's the only way. So I try to do that daily, and that's made a huge impact in my life personally, and hopefully in our team's lives too.
Yeah, and for those watching, one of the great things about our business is there's a few areas, streams of income you can earn. One is through the profits you're going to make from your own nutrition club, which we talked about. Wendy's built a very successful nutrition club, her and Heath. But the second area of income is through earning royalties by helping other people open nutrition clubs and grow a successful nutrition club, which they've helped so many people be able to do that now. So that being said, what would be, from working with your team, what are some mistakes that people should avoid?
Oh goodness. Well, we kind of touched on this already, but two that just come top of mind instantly is, if you're not plugged in, you're not as successful. It's very clear to me. if part of my team or in the organization, really, if you're not plugged into trainings and all the things that are offered in this organization, you're usually not as successful in this business. So you got to stay plugged in, and just trying to do things, just be rogue. Like, don't go rogue. Just do what works and do it over and over and over and stay consistent. Another thing is like closing. Just the inconsistency in clubs is like a club killer. Whether it be your drinks, your hours, who you have working behind the bar. If you have somebody terrible behind the bar, then people aren't going to come back. I tell people this all the time when I talk about fundamentals. If you have not mastered the fundamentals, which is consistent hours, drinks, vibe, person behind customer service, if they aren't mastered, all your customers have probably 4 to 6 clubs in the next 2 miles they can go to. So you better master it. Don't take it lightly. I really harp on this because I feel like it's that important. Master the fundamentals.
True. How about social media? How important is that?
Yeah, okay. Very important, which as much as we talk about this, people still just don't get it. I don't know, but we are in a college town, so I am fortunate, but you don't have to be in a college town, right? It's not like I'm great at TikToks, but my staff is. It's not like I'm awesome at making reels, but my staff is. And then pretty pictures. I mean, we are posting 2 posts a day, like Facebook, Instagram, 3 stories a day. Then we're trying to post a reel and a TikTok a day. Like, we're on fire. We're not just, you can't, if you're going to post 1 time a day, you might as well not post. It makes no impact on your business. So it's probably, it's in the fundamentals, right? I just didn't mention it, but you have to be on top of your social media daily, multiple times a day, and have fun with it. And don't put like a picture that's so dark they don't even know what colors the drink is. Like, maybe put a filter on it. I mean, please, people, put a filter on your pictures.
Yeah, we've talked about in other episodes, for me, when a club owner is struggling, first thing I do is go to their social media, and that says a lot. It says a lot about how serious you are about your business, plus what they're posting, but you can really see, again, you talked about the consistency from that.
Yeah. Yes.
So, all right, if there's somebody watching right now, and let's talk about people that haven't joined yet. If somebody's watching right now and they're on the fence about opening a nutrition club, what would you say to them?
I would probably say, like, what are you waiting on, or what's holding you back? And then I would just say, like, you're going to work hard for somebody. Why not work hard for yourself? And I know you've done a lot of talking about betting on yourselves, but listen, that's the best bet you can make in life, is to bet on yourself, because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to do the work for you. So I would take that bet every day, all day, betting on myself. And then I would also just say, like, working for your own dreams and not somebody else's, it's along those same lines. You're betting on you instead of going to give all your hard work to, another company or another brand or whatnot. And lastly, like we've been talking about, the groundwork is laid. Our team is absolutely amazing, filled with inspiration and success. And so it's just that one decision away, just start. And once you start, that's when you're going to get clarity and get confident. But you got to start. You got to say yes. And then the rest we have the roadmap ready for you. All you have to do is say yes. So that's what I'd say. I'd say a lot, clearly.
No, I love that. And the clarity part, that's something I say a lot. So many people, well, I need clarity before I start. And clarity never comes before you start. Clarity comes after you start, always. Do you wish you would have started sooner?
Yeah. And not just for that Herbalife doesn't cap your money, which is, I'm sorry, y'all, this is like a big deal. when you come from, an industry, and most of us have, where somebody's just paying you a salary, they're setting high goals, they're telling you when you can be off and when you have to work. And when you come over to Herbalife, it's just so eye opening, like, oh my gosh, the amount of hard work I put in, I'm going to get paid for. Obviously, that part is huge. That part's huge. But I'm going to circle back to this. I just like the person I am better today than the person I was before. So for me, that's more important. So,
Love it, love it.
yeah.
You're a great person. It's been awesome to you're always a wonderful person. It's been awesome to see, be watching this journey that you and Heath have been on. So maybe there's people watching that maybe have a little doubt in the back of their mind that, that they have the capability of doing this. Is there do you think there's a perfect person for this business?
Oh no. I mean, I do think we're going to go back to the basics here. You're going to have to, if you're going to own your own business, you're going to have to work hard, stay consistent, stay coachable, all those things. But I sometimes think people think, oh, I have to have sales background or have to be an entrepreneur, I already have to be this, or I have to have this kind of education. And there's nothing farther from the truth. You can come from any background and be a very successful club owner. So I think that's a huge misconception about owning your own business, specifically within Herbalife. It doesn't matter where you come from, you have to want to work hard, obviously, and serve your community. This is all about customers and community. So that needs to be pretty important to you, but it doesn't matter where you come from.
Well, if you had to start over, if you were moving to, which you've done before, if you were moving to a new area, you've done it twice, so you'll be good at this question. And if you were moving to a new area, you were starting over today, what would be the first thing you would do?
In my nutrition club, or like specifically
Yeah,
recruit.
with your nutrition club team, would you open a nutrition club first, team? What would be that first step?
Okay, well, when we've just done this, so we've gone to new areas and we've opened nutrition clubs, and this is not necessarily a model, so to speak, but it's our model. Maybe is that we go to new places. We know how to open successful nutrition clubs. We follow the same, we duplicate the way we've always done it, and then we use it as a recruiting tool, right? We go to newer areas or areas that don't have a ton of nutrition clubs, and then use it to grow and recruit new club owners and expand in the area. So it's kind of our recruiting tool more than maybe it was in the beginning. Again, in the beginning, we were just so worried about hitting a number that we weren't really focused on the recruitment part. So for us, I think this is a huge part of it now. Mississippi, we have a lot of clubs, so we've gone to other areas, duplicated what we did here, created an awesome nutrition club, and then recruited new club owners in. And we grew a press team in Alabama by doing this, and now we're in Georgia with the intention to do the same thing, build another press team line. So I think the biggest difference here now is the recruitment part / building a team. And we're just so much better at it now, and we're more confident because we've been doing it now for 8 years. In the beginning, it was just about opening the club to have a successful club, to pay for a condo. It was such a different mindset than it is now. Now it's about changing other people's lives. We're going to go to a different town. We're going to build a successful nutrition club, or we know it will be successful. And then we're going to recruit and get the right person in there working with us, and then eventually owning their own. So it's kind of a mind, shift change from where we were to where we are now, for sure.
Yeah, your purpose got a lot bigger, didn't it?
Oh, so much bigger. Yes.
So what would you say is like one thing that could change somebody's results fast? I know sometimes we'll see this, and we've talked about it on other episodes. We might have a failing nutrition club, and all of a sudden a new owner takes over that nutrition club, and those are some of the most successful nutrition clubs on our team. So why is that? Or what do you think is the one thing that can change the results so fast?
Well, I mean, I think you just said it. Like the book we're reading right now, Leadership 101, if you have a failing team or business or anything in life, you get rid of the leader. It's a direct reflection of the leader or the owner. So bringing in a new leader with like a day one mentality, like they're just fired up, they're going to, everything's going to be exciting and new, and I don't know. There's something about that energy of day one, right? If we could all stay in day one, where will we be, right? But there's something very significant about changing the leader. I know that's kind of sad too, because I hate for people not to be successful, but people just get in a rut or stuck in their ways, and they're not coachable and they don't adapt and they fail. So if you bring somebody in there with new eyes, new energy, that's coachable, that will listen and follow the system. I know I keep talking about it, but it's been proven. Then it will change. I mean, I've seen it change over and over and over. The volume doubles, triples. It's insane, and it's because we're going to stick with this fundamentals and being coachable. I mean, you got to follow and do things that are already successful. Why would you do anything different? And why would you not do what is successful? Why don't you post every day? Why are you closing your club early? Why are you doing all these things that are like business suicide? But people do it. They still do it all the time. So you got to have somebody that comes in there that's hungry, excited, and coachable.
Yeah, you nailed
Yeah.
it. Well, I think you have given a master class on how to grow. I mean, I'm like fired up. I'm ready to go open another nutrition club right now. You've given so many nuggets here for the listeners. Anything you think I missed? Anything else you want to add?
I just am so thankful for this company. I know we've obviously touched on that, but I think people don't realize what an incredible company this is. And been around for, another misconception, but been around 46, 47 years, right? The number one nutrition brand in the world. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so rewarding. And just watching people grow and becoming successful business leaders and become better leaders and all the things that this encompasses is just truly been a blessing like no other for me and Heath. And we're just so thankful. We're thankful for you and Mamie. We're thankful for this company, and obviously very thankful for this team, our team, and this organization as a whole. It just doesn't get any better than this.
It doesn't. It's a blast, and it's just so great for us to see your success and be able to travel the world for y'all. Our little trip we made in Vienna, Austria, a couple months ago, and I guess we're going to be seeing each other in Hawaii here in a week. And so it's great to be able to work with your friends and see their success and all do this life together and this business together. And so
Yes.
this has been awesome for me, and just so proud of you and Heath. We'll definitely get Heath on one of these. So everybody will see once you've both been on here, see why you're so successful, a power couple for sure. And so, Wendy, thank you so much for your time. And I know this is going to make a huge difference for everybody watching. For those of you watching, make sure you hit the subscribe up there so you can catch every one of these we have. If you are just finding this and you want to learn more about opening a nutrition club, first of all, if somebody shared this with you, make sure you get back with them, ask them for some more information. If you just stumbled across this, you can comment here and we'll make sure that we get some information to you. So hope this helped everyone, and we will see you on episode number 5. Have a great day. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Trey.